Today, I am brought in part by VeldShop because we are going to be talking about buffs, potentially the clan system, a reason to kind of care about clan content and PvP. Now, before we go into this is entirely speculative. The person who has put this out, Datamine ARPG, however, is a pretty good amount of stuff on the docket. I mean, he called the Essence that just got it, the Essence extraction system. He called that how many months ago, Vel?
It was like 3 months ago, I remember, because I was so hyped about it. I've been hyped ever since.
Yeah, so he's got a pretty good track record with these things, and it's called all that. It looks like there's a post on Reddit about that. And he also, I asked him a little bit about this, and so did Val, from my understanding. He's kind of broke down a little bit more about what's going on with this cursed tower as well. So effectively, I'll just kind of go through and we'll give a general synopsis, because there's a lot to read, and there's a lot that he posted too in our information. So I'm just going to kind of talk in general terms. But essentially what's going on is it looks like he has found something called the cursed tower. Now, essentially what the cursed tower is it's going to be some clan and PvP type of activities, sort of like an open world where there's going to be these different towers. Now, I'm assuming these towers are going to be things like the pillars out of Silent Monastery, for instance, like just little things that you can control, little points, almost like Capture the Flag, or King of the Hill would be a better probably way to put this. The idea is, as a clan, the more of these towers that you own, you're generating profits, essentially, slowly. So this is passive income, either gold or experience per tower, and it stacks up to a cap, almost like an energy. What would you use as a metaphor for this? Or what's another way to explain this? Help me out with this.
I consider it idle rewards. Like you're just chilling and it looks like you just accumulate gold. The way I read this is you have the hourly rate of gold or experience, right? So the more towers you earn, the faster you can reach the so-called cap that looks to be either once to twice a week. So really the question is, how many towers do you need to get to that cap?
That's a good point. 99 cursed towers in total, a bunch. However, they'll be unlocked gradually and not all at once. 3 areas are set to be added containing 33 towers each. So it looks like these are going to be new areas. These aren't like just being placed around the current map. And it's looking like these areas are going to be, I would assume, open world PvP, or else what is the competition to, where are you fighting the towers for?
Yeah, this is like, honestly, I'm reading this and it is exciting. I'm actually pretty excited about this, but I feel like this is almost like a tiny tease, because it's like, okay, is it going to be open world? Are we going to have like set times? Like you have to log in at, I don't know, like 4 p.m. To go ahead and fight for 30 minutes? Or is it just constant battling? Because if it's constant battling, that is a fun one.
If this is sort of like Albion Online or, Eve Online, where you have resources that are sitting there that can be raided at any time, that's going to be interesting. I would assume, based upon how they're doing their content, that this is probably like a time thing. Like, let's say twice a week or something, almost like Shadow War. You show up to fight over the towers and you claim your towers, and then you have them for the week. Again, this is all speculation, so it's hard to know the details of this, but it looks like he does actually have some timeline related stuff, like when are they set to open. He has deadlines on when they're set to activate. March 1st, March 20th, and April 1st. So it looks like over the course of basically a month, it's going to be unlocking 3 different areas at 33 towers each. Now, I know that we both haven't been too excited by just really focusing on the clan stuff and the Immortal system and all that. It looks like there's other clan materials, clan boss challenges that can be opened by the clan leader. Hey, we've both played Raid Challenge, and so clan boss is something that we're familiar with, right? And it looks like mark the server Paragon of 600, which may be the date for the next major content update, which would put us about 60 days out. That's kind of right around, March 28th? Yeah, so that would make sort of sense. So from what I can see here, is this enough of a reason, you think, for you to start thinking about some clan stuff? This looks kind of...
Oh, yeah, 100%. I mean, the big thing for me is it really has to tell me where are my players going in the clan, right? Like if I'm going to join, let's say, a new clan or, whatever we decide to do, how many players actually get to participate? Because, we could easily see, okay, it's a set time, but it's like Rite of Exile. You send your top 3, top 8 players in, and then, it's not really content. It's just be in the strongest clan possible, right? Like
The other
that's the only
problem,
thing I'll see.
there's another thing that could arise. If this is where at certain times everyone can just storm in, we're going to be seeing a repeat of the Immortal Shadow system, which is alliances. Like, hey, okay, these 3 alliances, we each get a zone. We're going to go together to make sure you get your zone, we get our zone, etc. I could see almost, I mentioned EVE Online earlier, but whenever these type of resource allocation things happen related to clans and the way clans interact, this almost always happens in any game where you end up pairing up, etc. The other thing is that could be literally the intent with this, because when the Immortal Shadow system came out, that was literally the intent for the Immortal Shadow system, and this mirrors that just in sort of a more nuanced idle rewards type of way. One thing I want to say here is the maximum limit for accumulated gold is 148,500. I don't know if this is per tower, because if this is per tower and there's 99 cursed towers in the game, there is a lot of gold being generated by these towers. I mean, the same thing can be said for experience. We're talking, that's 200 million, like 230 million experience is being generated in total by these, and can only be claimed at said limit once to twice per week. Okay, so let's say twice per week. Each one of these is 230. Then we're talking 460 million experience that's being divided out. So I'm wondering if they're trying to help eliminate some of the grind a little bit.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're considering who that is for, obviously it's going to be the people that are at 10% XP, right? Those are the people that are grinding the game. They're going to be the strongest. They're going to be the biggest whale. Like the biggest whales are the people that play the most. Typically, on at least our server, I've always found that the people that have the 5, 6, 7K wings are the ones that want to play all the time. And if we're considering, as you say, 460 million experience, divide that by 10, that's 46 million experience. That is a lot of, that's 10 levels, more than 10 levels at 10% experience. So we're talking of massive amounts of experience, assuming, as you say, it goes for each tower and it's twice a week. The way I interpreted this was, this is the amount of experience you get twice a week. So like that's the cap, and then you get the towers, and the more towers you accumulate, the faster you can get to that experience cap. And let's say you need, I don't know, like 6 towers to get to the experience cap. Without 6 towers, you're not going to get the full value. That's kind of how I interpret this.
It's more, the storage is like a reservoir that you fill up, influenced by how many towers you have, as opposed to each tower has a reservoir that you have to go to each tower. And I see what you're saying. That's exactly. Probably your way probably makes more sense, honestly, I would think, because the amount of experience being 232, if you cut that down for each individual person, it sounds like just the right amount. We're like, hey, let's not give them more than just about 2/3 of a level. For doing, I mean, that seems like some stuff that would probably happen. Honestly, the 148,000 gold I'm okay with, though, because, the reason I like Vault as a shadow is because of you just get the gold, and I like doing the gambles every day. I think it's fun, and I think what would be more fun is to be able to do the gambles every day all the way. You know what I mean? 25, like just throw away your gold. No one really does the 25. It gets quite expensive, unless you're grinding like a lot with Treasure Hunter and all that, right? I guess then maybe you can afford to do 50 gambles a day at the increased pricing, but this might actually change that a little bit. I'm liking the little passive income increases that we've been getting over the last patches. I hope this is true. But
the important thing to know about the gold too is that since we're getting the legendary essence extraction system like tomorrow, gold is way more important for gambling for those people that, like me, I save my gold because I don't want to walk over to the gambler. I'm too lazy to walk over there. So I have like 6 million gold right now, and all the legendaries that I'll get from there are going to be dumping into the essence extraction system, hopefully. And more gold is going to be more extraction. So gold actually becomes way more important as of tomorrow.
Well, this is kind of interesting. There's not too much more data that we have here. I mean, I have some more stuff that I guess we could break down, but most of this is just speculation. I think we've kind of covered the general points, which is just, looks like there's a clan PvP activity focus going into the first half of the Diablo Immortal New Year here. And honestly, I do believe, and I've been saying this lately, that I think they should focus on adding more PvP activities, because PvP is part of the community that's like super hardcore about the game. PvP people love the game, okay? And they're typically, if I could assume here, the people that put more money in average into the game, because the money helps you mostly just in PvP, if we're being quite honest, that you can play the game free to play PvE and be totally fine. So, for that reason, it's nice to see if this is in fact true, tinfoil hat, if this is in fact true, that, and he has been correct about this before, but disclaimers aside, like if this is true, I'm happy for the PvPers because this would, give them a reason to go around and bully some more people, which is, you gotta go around and, slap some people with your wings sometimes. And have you been doing much PvP lately? I gotta be honest, they put me in a matchmaking bracket. I think I spent like another $50 in the House 7 trove or something. And I think they were like, this guy's spending money, do the FIFA thing and give him worse opponents. Cause suddenly I'm getting like 2,000 resonance, other 3,000 resonance, even some 1,000 resonance players. And all of a sudden I feel really good at the game.
Oh, I have the opposite experience. I haven't spent any money in like 2-3 months, so they're like, dude, we gotta make sure this guy wants to spend against. Anytime I enter PvP, it's like I have like 4 7Ks on both teams, so it's balanced, right? But I'm not 7K, so I'm just fodder for the team. Like I just run in and drop a laser beam from 2 screens away and hope I can hit someone. That's my job right there.
You just gotta lose a bunch, man. Once I got into those low 30% win rates, then I really started to, I started to get the team that matched my drooling on the keyboard level of skill.
Oh no, man. You know what? Actually, I wanted to mention this because this is something that I personally am way more excited about in this post. And that's the clan boss challenges. I would love to see some sort of like rewarding aspect for people to like, let's say it's a mega raid up to like 64 players can join. Ooh. And the better you do, the more rewards and the more bosses you can fight. Like I wish they would do like some sort of tiered progression system. That personally to me would make me want to run like a cool clan because I like that engaging type content. Like PvP, all for it. I will definitely participate in it, but clan boss, like rewarding it. Like, okay, if you beat this boss, you get 1 legendary. You beat this boss, you get 2. That type of thing. That would be super hype.
Well, and plus we know they can put the players together because we have the Rite of Exile. Like we've seen it before, and they have that big. You could literally take the Rite of Exile and be like, the Immortal has been possessed by a demon, whatever BS, and then like have a boss just jump out of the middle there where you normally ascend at. Just have a boss come out of the middle, straight up clan boss, and then you beat them up. Pretty much that simple.
Make it super dramatic and have the clan leader become the boss.
Oh yeah, the clan leader.
Take that.
That would actually be fun. And then like the clan leader gets rewards if he manages to kill everyone, but they get they compete against yourself.
Shadows. I could totally see them doing something like that.
Just to create drama within the own guild, because there's not enough in the game already. So all right, well, I think that's about wraps up. This looks kind of exciting. Let us know in the comments down below what you think. And as always, check out Veld Shot's channel. We will have that in the pinned comment as well. Love you all. Any last words, Veld?
Definitely love you all.
There you go.
Just piggybacking off that.
Goodbye.